4. Okay. You're live. Yay. Well, I'm just waiting for anybody to join. I hope you got the message that I'm going live. I just got home not too long ago, like sooner than later. So what I'm going to do is check the quiz and make sure I'm going to impart information so that you will be able to use the information that I say to study. So let me see what is going on. And let me view the to study. So let me see what is going on. And let me view the quiz. And, oh, gotta sign in. Oh, I hate this process of signing in to everything. Yikes. Let's see. Making sure I cover all the information that I can and leave you guys in a good place. Let me see where I am. Is anyone? Oh, I've got 4 people. Yay. So go ahead and welcome to my chat and start identifying yourself and questions galore. I'll just go ahead, but let me go and check the quiz so I can make sure that, I make sure that you know what's going on. All right, so here I am going on Kia, and let me see. So if you hear any barking, it's Rocky. He gets very jealous of my time with other people and other things. And yeah, that's just who he is. Oh, all right. I know how to use the network. Just take me there. All right. Let me see. Dan the man. Hi, Dan. So good to see you. Welcome. Do you have any questions or anything in particular you want me to address? Please feel free to ask. And I'm glad that you guys got the message. Let me know if you can hear me because I see that my internal microphone is not really high. And I just want to let me know and let me see where I am with getting to your quiz. Computers, sometimes they're a blessing and a curse. And I hope today it's a blessing. All right, come on. Trying to get to that. All right. So anyone else? I've got 5 people. Yay, 5 people, but nobody's leaving me any can you see me? I hope you can. Just identify. I see Dan is here. Anybody else other than Dan? 6 people. Nobody identified. Please let me know. Say hi. Hi, Isaiah. It's good. Welcome. It's good to see you. And let me see if I can do that. And of course, my dog is talking. Hi. Rocky says hi. Wish he wouldn't say hi, but he does. Anyone else say hi? Okay. Let me get started. Planetary science. My computer's awfully slow right now. It was sitting in my car for several hours, so it got cold. So I'm moving that really slow. But I do want to know if you can hear me. So if you could let me know if you can, that would be great. All right. So, and looks like my connection's good. Any questions? No questions yet. But I'm trying to get to my folder. Here we go. Yay, I'm almost there to look at preview. Well, you can't see preview, but I can. Let me preview the quiz. And let me say that eclipses is asked about. So know what phase of the moon is a lunar eclipse and what phase of the moon is a solar eclipse. Okay? And I think that's a good start. Hello, Maya. How are you? It's good seeing you here. Okay. So, again, hi, Sophie. Mia, welcome. So, I've got Dan, the man, and Mia, Isaiah, Maya, and Sophie. Welcome. So what phase of the moon you would have a lunar eclipse. Remember, a lunar eclipse is going to happen at night. Therefore, it's going to be a full moon. And a solar eclipse is going to happen during the day. So therefore, it's going to be a new moon. Hi, Natalie. Welcome. And let me go. I'm again checking to, oh, I tell you, boy, when you have, all right, maybe now it'll give me a preview. Oh, there it is. So, know when you can see the moon. Okay. Um, know your phases. Be able to recognize the phase of the moon by just looking at a picture or looking where it is located in relationship to the earth and the sun. Remember what direction that the moon rotates. I think we've talked about the clock, counterclockwise, always against the clock. Okay? Any questions? I see everybody's here, but I see no questions. I hope you guys are able to ask questions. So I don't know. Hi, Kaya. Hi, Jill. Good to see everyone. So I'll just continue and again type in something. Hopefully, solar eclipse is when the moon is between the earth and the sun. Therefore, the moon blocks the sun's light and has a shadow the light from the sun to the moon, and the moon is in Earth's shadow. Is that helpful? And Jill, I just explained that. So, like where the moon is located. Okay, so the moon is always a full moon during a lunar eclipse, and for a solar eclipse, the moon is a new moon. I hope that was helpful. Rocky, and therefore the sun is out during the day. So remember a couple of years ago, a couple of summers ago, there was a solar eclipse, a partial eclipse. It happened during the day. If there's a solar eclipse and you're experiencing night, you will not see the eclipse. You will go, oh, bummer, we missed the eclipse. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. Anything, and if not, that means I'll have to speak louder. Does it hold? Well, Natalie, I hope I answered your question about the eclipse happening day or night. So, do you know why we only see one side of the moon? Discuss amongst your. Do you know why we only see one side of the moon? That's the question. See if you guys can answer that. Isaiah, I'm going to answer your question. Isaiah asked, why can a lunar eclipse only take place during a full moon? Because the definition of the lunar eclipse is when the moon is in Earth's shadow and the light is blocked by the Earth. So think of it. If you have a full moon, that's when you have a lineup. You have the sun here, then you have the Earth, and then if I had another finger, this would be the moon. Little finger, the moon. Okay? So when they form a straight line, that's when you can have an eclipse. However, the only time the moon is in a straight line where it can be eclipsed is during a full moon. The quarter moons, there are no eclipses when there's a quarter moon. And the only other time the moon is in a straight line with the earth and the sun is when it's a new moon. Isaiah? Hopefully it does. Don't we only see one side of the moon because the moon's rotation on its axis is the same rate as its orbit around the Earth? Yes, Sophie. The Earth and the moon. You mean the distance between the Earth and the moon? 30. So if you lined up 30 moons, 30 Earths from here to the moon, you would get the distance, okay, which is about 385,000 kilometers, okay? Why can total solar eclipses be only seen from certain parts of the world? Because the moon is very small. So only very small areas of the Earth experience a total eclipse of the sun during a solar eclipse. However, larger areas experience the partial eclipse because they're in the penumbra, whereas a very small area is in the umbra of an eclipse. Um, oh, good for you, Natalie. Good answer. You got it. And welcome, Natalie. I didn't see that you had signed in. It's good to see you. Any other questions? Because that's what generates all of our discussions. Good for you. Um, so, as I was saying before, you should be able to recognize the phase. That's why I've given you the hands, the waxing hand and the waning hand, and also know where it would be located as it goes around the sun. I think that's really important for you to be able to recognize. There's a few questions that uses that particular model. Okay. I will be in tomorrow morning as my usual early time. And please feel free, and thanks for the 2 thumbs up to let me know that you can hear me. Feel free to come down. I'm always available. Okay, so Sophie asked, and I hope you don't mind I said your name, Sophie. Could you explain the umbra and the penumbra shadows? The umbra of the eclipse is the dark inner shadow, and the penumbra is the lighter outer shadow. So because the moon is a lot smaller than the sun, when it blocks the sun's light, it's a very small area of the earth that's in the dark inner shadow, or the umbra. Think of an umbrella. Being under an umbrella protects just you in that little umbrella shape. So it's like being in an umbrella. Okay? Is that good for you, Sophie? Now, the penumbra is always going to be a partial eclipse. So when a couple of summers ago when we had the eclipse, we were in the penumbra because we had a partial eclipse, but the lucky people who were in the umbra got to see, they had to experience where it got as dark as night and that the winds picked up and then the birds stopped chirping and then it was like for 7 minutes and then the eclipse started to go away. You're welcome. So, as well as the umbra and the penumbra and the solar eclipse, what are their roles? They're just explaining the penumbra is just the outer shadow, Natalie, and the umbra is the inner shadow. Exactly, you got it, Natalie. So, when it's a total eclipse, you're in the umbra. When it's a partial eclipse, you're in what they call the penumbra. Okay? So what's interesting, you know that in the year that you graduate from high school is when there will be another solar eclipse in North America. And I heard that Burlington, Vermont will be in the umbra. So you might be able to go. And I think the time is sometime in April 8th of 2024. So mark your calendars so that you guys can, before you graduate, actually witness a total eclipse if you have not witnessed one already. Okay, so are there any questions or you want some clarity on anything that we covered in class? Please feel free to type in the question, and I'm going to go to look at the quiz to see if there's anything I want to point out that you may want to get a good look at. Talking about eclipses or when you're talking about phases of the moon, okay? And you guys, we've been talking about why certain things exist, why we don't have eclipses every month, you know, and why we only see the same side of the moon. And yeah, so I feel pretty good. If you study and those sheets that I gave you have been giving you all week should help. Natalie, eclipses, there's a lunar eclipse, okay, somewhere in the world. Because think about it. You're at the right distance during the lunar eclipse, so you're going to be the right distance from Earth during the solar eclipse and vice versa. Okay, so that's why that's usually the number that you have of eclipses. Rarely do you get more than 2 solar or 2 lunar eclipses in one calendar year. Okay, so anyone else? This has really been good questions. Um, Hello, people who are here and listening. You're always welcome, and I'm happy. But please type in your question, identify yourself, say hi to the group. And sometimes people ask each other questions. Don't we always see one side? Okay, good, Sophie, your question. And I'm so glad you typed it because whoever views this video after can use your response to study from. What time can you see the moon in daylight and why? Well, it depends. Just like, the moonrise and the moon set varies. You're more apt to see things like the gibbous, the full moon, and both of the gibbuses rise at night and be more visible at night. Think about it, full moon usually at night, correct? You're more apt to see your crescents, and like tonight I saw the crescent moon before in the clouds just before I got home, but you're more apt to see the crescents, and especially the new moon during the day. Now, think about it. That's when you have a solar eclipse during the day. And what phase is a solar eclipse? New moon. So, because of the movement of the moon around the earth and the earth around the sun, you have varying times of moon rise and moon set. So, Hannah, that's why you can see the moon at various times. You can see it in the day, you can see it at night. Okay? And that's what I hope you got from the moon log that you've been keeping is that it's not always just visible at night, that you can see the moon throughout the day. And the moon, also like the earth, right now during a lot of full moons, it rises and sets and it's only out for 8 hours, just like Earth. Okay, we have times when we have longer days, and then we have times when we have shorter days. Except for ours is 365. For the moon, it's 29 days. Okay, hopefully that answers your question, Hannah. Any other questions? Please feel free. And again, you have all the tools. I did the eclipse sheet. Some of you got it. I did put a key to the eclipse sheet and even to both solar and lunar eclipses, as well as they also have that what neither of them have that doesn't is not eclipses. Like for instance, you'll never get an eclipse with a quarter moon. Think about it. In a quarter moon, it forms a 90-degree angle. So here's a quarter moon, here's a moon here, the sun is here, the earth is here. It's not going to block the sun's light. You're welcome, Hannah. Um, any other questions? And again, let me check and see. I'll make sure that you are informed. That's the thing. But I feel like, yeah, I feel pretty good. Just know the sequence. You should know the sequence, what phase follows what, in what order. Um, you should know how long it is between the quarter phases. You know, what a week after a new moon, what phase is it? So, a week after a new moon, what phase of the moon will it be? And talk amongst yourselves. Yes, Sophie, there are 2 open response questions. So, but again, so a week after a new moon, what phase of the moon are you going to have? Rocky, Rocky, I know. Come here. I haven't seen Rocky all day. So, does anyone know? A week after a new moon, what phase of the moon will it be? You are, no, Kaya? A waxing crescent is actually from when you get a sliver of light until you get to the next one. So you're one more phase. Who can help? A week after? First quarter moon, that is correct. Remember the quarters. you have a circle, okay? And here's the new moon here. 1 week after that, you get the quarter moon. 1 week after the quarter moon, you get the full moon. 1 week after the full moon, you get the third quarter moon. 1 week after the third quarter moon, you will get the new moon. There you go. Yeah, you are correct. It would be first quarter, Sophie. Good for you. You got it. So keep in mind, it's the quarter moons because moon, or what we call a quarter moon, until it's full. So you can't really say, oh, it's going to be that. Oh, so Jill has asked a very good question. She said, during a lunar eclipse, why does the moon look red? Well, you guys tell her. You read it, or maybe you saw it, and then I'll see if I can go over it. So why does it look blood red? And it's called a blood red moon, by the way. That moon you get from a lunar eclipse. Why is it called that? Why does it turn red? It has something to do with wavelength of light. Remember that from electromagnetic force? And it has something to do with the Earth's atmosphere. As the light goes through the Earth's atmosphere, what happens to that light? It bends and slows down. And so what you get is a lot of red light. So the moon itself isn't red, but it appears to us as being red. Okay? Questions? I think that is because the Earth blocks the light from getting to the moon. Yes. And when it does, but it goes around because the Earth is curved, so the light can go around the curve, bends around the curve. And the red wing are the only one that don't get filtered out. Yes, you're correct. Yay, Maya. So everybody, Maya's got it. You got it. Yay. There's paper plates, I think, over there. Yeah. So very good, Maya. And you started it too, Sophia. So together we got the answer. Yay. Any other questions? So, so did you answer why we only saw one side of the Earth? Yes, we did. So here's this one. Why don't we have an eclipse every single month? Answer that one. Why don't we have an eclipse every single month? Moon's orbital plane. What can you say about the moon's orbital plane, Danny? What can you say about the moon's orbital plane? It's tilt of 5 degrees. And because of that tilt, it's the reason why we do not have an eclipse every single month. Okay? Everything has to be in the right distance, the right line, and then we get to experience the eclipse. So, and again, think about it, it'll be one. And if there's a lunar eclipse and we're experiencing night, you will get to see the lunar eclipse. Solar eclipse, maybe not so much, but we're lucky in that if there's a lunar eclipse and it's nighttime in your area that night, you will see a lunar eclipse. Okay? So, any other questions? All right. So, in conclusion, and if you study those models, go through quizzes, and remember that sheet where you had the model and you had to put at day 0 what phase was at day 14, day 7, day 21. Okay? Remember the direction that the moon moves around the earth counterclockwise. And I think you're going to be okay. All right? So, you guys, thank you for joining me. Good night. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.